Rain pours relentlessly on the quiet suburban street as Emma Gray crouches beside her husband's SUV, her trembling fingers struggling to attach a tiny GPS tracker beneath the bumper. Every clap of thunder echoes the storm inside her chest, a war between fear and truth. She's not doing this to expose him to the world or destroy the marriage. She's doing it to survive the crippling uncertainty consuming her. Mark's late nights, sudden expensive wardrobe, and secretive phone calls have built a silent prison of doubt around her. She whispers to herself, "I need proof. I need the truth." Emma gets back inside just seconds before Mark's headlights sweep across the driveway. She rushes to wipe the rain from her face, practicing a smile in the hallway mirror. When he walks in, smelling faintly of cologne and exhaustion, she greets him with forced warmth, studying every detail. How long he holds her hug, whether his eyes meet hers, how quickly he hides his phone. Mark chats casually about work, unaware of the silent investigation unfolding inches away. Emma nods and laughs on cue, but behind her eyes, calculations are running, searching for inconsistencies, lies, and missing pieces. Later that night, Emma checks the GPS on her phone. Mark is at the office. Her stomach drops. She had hoped it would prove her wrong, silence the voices from her past, the memory of her mother crying alone after discovering betrayal. But as Mark changes clothes in their bedroom, Emma freezes when she notices a smear of lipstick on his collar. Not her shade. Not even close. The house suddenly feels colder. She's trapped between two horrifying possibilities. Mark really is cheating, or her fear has grown so uncontrollably that she can no longer recognize the man she married. Emma and Mark once had the kind of love that made people believe in soulmates, college sweethearts who finished each other's sentences and dreamed of building a life side by side. In the early years of marriage, they were unstoppable, comforting each other through financial struggles and cheering every small victory. But with time, life grew heavier. Mark's job demanded longer hours, debts piled up, and infertility treatments drained their savings and their joy. The laughter faded. Emma began to feel invisible in her own home, and Mark, buried under pressure, felt blamed for problems he didn't know how to fix. Their marriage didn't fall apart alone. People around them helped widen the cracks. Rachel, Emma's best friend, has always been fiercely loyal, the kind who encourages Emma to stand up for herself, even when advice turns into gasoline on fire. Daniel Collins from Emma's workplace listens when Mark doesn't. His charm and gentle attention feel like a safe place, but also a dangerous escape. And then there's Linda Gray, Mark's mother, who never believed Emma was good enough, her criticism like a steady drip of poison. Emma absorbs everyone's influence, unsure which voice to believe anymore. Despite everything, nothing about Emma and Mark fits the mold of a simple villain and victim. Emma feels abandoned, craving affection, terrified of being unlovable, haunted by the memory of watching her own parents' marriage collapse. Mark seems distant, tired, frustrated, and closed off, yet not intentionally cruel. He still kisses her goodbye, still asks about her day, but everything feels disconnected, like rituals without emotion. The audience is left torn. Is Mark hiding something unforgivable, or is Emma so consumed by fear and past wounds that she's misinterpreting the man she loves? The truth hangs just out of reach, and in the days that follow, Emma becomes addicted to watching the GPS app. At first, it shows Mark heading to the office. But then, late-night day tours begin appearing. A hotel at 11:47 p.m. A residential house in a neighborhood she doesn't recognize. Short stops in parking lots that don't make sense. Each ping on the tracker tightens the knot in her stomach. She takes screenshots obsessively, building a folder of evidence on her phone. Her life narrows into a single routine, refreshing the app, analyzing his routes, looking for patterns. The truth becomes both her obsession and her poison. The breaking point comes on a Thursday night. Mark calls, saying he has to work late again, voice steady, believable. But seconds after he hangs up, the tracker updates, he's across town, nowhere near the office. Something inside Emma snaps. All the doubt and dread harden into certainty. She grabs her keys with trembling hands and drives, her heart pounding louder than the engine. Every turn of the road is a countdown to pain she thinks she already knows. In her mind, she rehearses the confrontation, the shock on his face, the confession, the apology she fears will never come. She follows the signal to a warm suburban house filled with laughter and glowing windows. Through the open gate, Emma sees Mark carrying a birthday cake, surrounded by his sister, nieces, nephews, balloons, and presents. Not a mistress. A family he once said he had cut ties with. She overhears a child shout, "Uncle Mark," before he sets the cake down with a proud smile. Emma's breath collapses. He wasn't cheating, he was helping his estranged sister financially and hiding it because he knew she disapproved of his family. In that moment, Emma realizes the real betrayal wasn't his. It was hers. After discovering Mark wasn't cheating that night, Emma tries to stop tracking him. She really does. She deletes the app twice, only to reinstall it minutes later. Curiosity and fear consume her. She starts snapping at Mark in small arguments, accusing him of keeping things from her, without ever admitting she was spying. Mark reacts by withdrawing, shutting down rather than fighting back. The air between them becomes heavy. Two people who love each other but feel unsafe speaking their truth. Every dinner, every goodnight kiss, every conversation feels like a fragile performance, waiting to shatter. Rachel fans the flames. During coffee meetups and late-night calls, she tells Emma to trust her instincts, to collect evidence, to protect herself before she gets hurt. Daniel, on the other hand, becomes Emma's emotional anchor, the one who asks how she's slept, if she's eaten, if she's okay. One evening at the office after a bad argument at home, Daniel hugs her as she cries. The moment lingers too long. He kisses her, gentle, hesitant, craving connection. Emma pulls away, whispering "I can't," but the damage is done. A line has been crossed, even without admitting it aloud. Emma promises herself she won't check the tracker again, but guilt, fear, and confusion drive her right back to it. One late night, while Mark claims his finishing paperwork at the office, the GPS updates an apartment building. Not the office. Not his sister's house. Somewhere new. The app shows he's been there repeatedly for weeks. Emma's breath shortens, panic mixing with self-loathing. She knows she crossed a line with Daniel. She knows she violated Mark's privacy. But now, staring at that apartment address glowing on her phone screen, all logic disappears. The spiral consumes her again. Mark had been sensing something off for weeks. Emma's sudden mood swings, her paranoia, her unpredictable anger. One night, while she showers, Mark goes searching for answers. He opens her laptop and an automated email notification pops up, GPS tracker subscription, renewal confirmation. Confusion becomes horror. He digs deeper, finds screenshots, location logs, timestamps, months of surveillance. When Emma walks into the room, Mark is waiting, holding the evidence in shaking hands. The argument isn't explosive at first, it's cold, restrained, deadly. Emma tries to explain, but every word sounds like an excuse. Mark finally screams, "You tracked me." In rage and disbelief, Mark syncs the GPS to his own phone to see exactly how long she had been monitoring him. Emma begs him not to open location history, but he does. The list scrolls for months: hotels, offices, suburbs, coffee shops. Then one entry freezes him: a luxury hotel, Saturday afternoon, 3 hours. His face drains of color. "This wasn't me," he whispers. Emma goes pale. She doesn't speak, doesn't deny it. The memory flashes in her mind, breaking down in Daniel's arms, feeling wanted for the first time in months, a moment she told herself didn't count. Mark doesn't yell. He doesn't throw anything. His devastation is silent, the kind that destroys without sound. Tears pool in his eyes before he looks away, unable to even face her. Emma crumbles, sobbing, saying she just needed to feel worth something, but the words only deepen the wound. Mark walks past her slowly, as if each step is pain. He leaves without a bag, without keys, without a plan, disappearing into the night because staying in that house hurts more than anywhere else ever could. Emma drops to the floor, clutching her chest, realizing she may have lost him forever. The weeks after Mark leaves are brutal: separation, lawyers, cold paperwork. Emma signs documents through tear-blurred eyes, trying to breathe through a heartbreak she created. Therapy becomes her lifeline. For the first time, she speaks about her father's infidelity, her mother's loneliness, the terror of being abandoned and never being enough. She realizes her obsession with tracking Mark wasn't about him. It was about avoiding reliving a childhood wound. Slowly, she starts rebuilding herself. She cuts ties with Daniel, apologizes to Rachel for letting fear turn into chaos, and begins choosing growth over panic, healing over suspicion. While Emma works on herself, Mark keeps his distance, not out of punishment, but survival. He doesn't date, doesn't jump into distractions. He spends his time rebuilding his connection with his estranged sister, playing with his nieces and nephews, taking long quiet walks to process everything. He begins his own therapy, not because of Emma's betrayal, but because he realizes he had shut down long before she ever tracked him. He learns that love cannot survive behind emotional walls. For the first time in a long time, both Emma and Mark begin healing, separately, yet strangely in parallel. Months later, Emma and Mark sit across from each other in mediation. There's no shouting, no anger, just two people who loved each other but lost each other. Mark admits he withdrew emotionally and made her feel alone. Emma admits she crossed a line and broke his trust, not because he failed her, but because she didn't know how to cope with fear. Silence settles, not tension, but acceptance. They sign the divorce papers, eyes wet, hands steady. They don't reconcile romantically, but they leave as equals, not enemies. A chapter ends, but neither is broken anymore. 1 year later, Emma lives in a small but warm apartment filled with plants, sunlight, and soft colors. Nothing luxurious, but everything peaceful. She wakes without anxiety now, no longer scanning a phone for locations or danger. Healing wasn't sudden, it was 1,000 tiny choices. Therapy sessions, journaling, late-night breakdowns, quiet victories. Where she once stalked digital maps for answers, she now fills pages with reflections, gratitude, and boundaries. She looks different too, softer eyes, healthier posture, a life no longer defined by fear of abandonment. She didn't rebuild her marriage, but she rebuilt herself. One afternoon, while she types at her kitchen table, her phone buzzes. It's Mark. No drama, just a simple message. Congratulations on your promotion. You earned it. Emma freezes for a moment, not from pain but surprise. She reads it twice, then 3 times, sensing sincerity rather than nostalgia. For a long time she thought closure meant getting him back. Now she understands closure means wanting happiness for both of them, even separately. Her reply is short but genuine. Thank you. I truly hope you're happy now. Her hands don't shake. Her chest doesn't burn. She's okay. Mark doesn't reply, and he doesn't need to. The silence between them is no longer painful, it's peaceful, like the ending of a book that mattered deeply but cannot be rewritten. Emma places her phone beside her journal, closes her eyes, and lets a soft smile form, not the smile of a woman who won someone back, but of a woman who finally came back to herself. She stands by the window watching the world move quietly below, no longer terrified of being alone. The final truth settles beautifully. She isn't healed because she found love again, she healed because she learned to love herself.